My theory of the process of a supernova. Basically, at the moment, scientists and physicists don't know the precise process of how a supernova works. The current theory is that when a star goes supernova, the gravitational forces are more powerful than the nuclear forces pushing it out, and it implodes on itself and it bounces off of the core. My theory is because some supernovas last for weeks up to months, so the bouncing off the core doesn't really explain that. My theory and process is when a star basically performs fusion and the elements get too heavy in the core and the gravitational forces get too powerful to resist the nuclear fusion forces exploding the star out, what happens is the star implodes on itself. As it's imploding, it compresses all of that star's matter and everything, and it compresses it down before it gets to the core, and it compresses it down to such a force that billions or more fusion processes react at the same time, and within milliseconds of a second, it explodes out again. So as it implodes, it compresses until and it causes another explosion that explodes out. As it explodes out, the gravitational forces pull it in again, and it contracts again, compresses and explodes out again, and it repeats and it repeats and it repeats until eventually there's not enough matter. So as it implodes, there will be one last explosion. So it's basically a process. It's not just the star implodes and it bounces off the core and that's it. Okay, so as it implodes, it basically compresses. Billions of more fusions are carried out, and also with this process, it could explain heavier elements being scattered out from the supernova explosion into the universe. It could also explain things like gold and other things, other elements being created. So, so as soon as a star reaches its point where the elements in the core are too heavy and it can no longer sustain its nuclear fusion, it implodes, compresses, and it explodes out. It's the exact same time it implodes and explodes out again. So you can visualize this. You can see it if you watch supernova going off for weeks or a month. It's so bright for so long, and it's like it blinks like continuously. That is the explosions as it implodes and explodes, chain reaction within seconds, milliseconds of a second. This happens, and yeah, basically that's my theory of the process of a supernova. It can explain how supernovas take so long and why they are so bright. And yeah, it's not just a implode and explode, double bounce or bounce off of the core and that's it. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, I'd like anyone to tell me if anything's wrong with my theory. I don't know the maths or anything, but I've been thinking about it for 4 years now, and yeah, that's my theory of the process of a supernova. And yeah, anyways, like anyone thinks I'm wrong or if there's a problem with that theory, please get back to me. But that's Bruce's theory of the process of a supernova and how heavier elements are basically fused in the process of a supernova. And yeah, it could be the reason how gold and other things are formed during a supernova and scattered out into the universe. Yeah, instead of two neutron stars, which probably does create gold and platinum and everything, but also these fusions and explosions could create heavier elements at the same time.